Hey, what's up guys? Dr. Beau here, the place where I answer your health-related questions 5 days a week. So that means if you have a health-related question, send me a message or comment below and chances of you getting it answered are actually kind of high. So today's question is from Julie, and Julie asks, hey Dr. Beau, I wake up in the morning and my low back is stiff and achy. Should I be using ice or heat? All right, Julie, so here's a question that I get a lot here in practice. And it really comes down to a couple of factors. So the first thing that I want to ask you, or anybody that's watching this, is are you suffering from an acute injury? Meaning, did you just have a slip and fall? Or did you injure yourself while playing a sport? Or did you bend over to lift up something and your back, quote unquote, went out on you? If that's the case, chances are that you had an acute injury and you have a lot of inflammation still within the joint. Now, I want you to try to differentiate the difference between joint and the attaching muscle. Now, when we have an injury, chances are really high that you've actually injured the joint capsule. And if that's the case, you have a lot of acute inflammation. So if you're waking up in the morning because you just had an injury, then I would tell you to continue to ice until all of the inflammation is out of that joint. That can typically take 2 to 5 days even if there's a lot of inflammation and injury. Now, Julie, if you're waking up in the morning and every morning your back is stiff and sore and you say it takes a long time for you to get going, then that's when I think heat is a really good option. Why? Because heat actually increases blood flow and allows the muscles to start to relax. And with a relaxed muscle, you can actually stretch, you can get up, move around, get yourself kind of going throughout your day. Now, one last thing that I'll mention to you, Julie, is this. You did say that this is worse in the morning when you get out of bed. So I want to ask you back is how supportive is your mattress? If you have noticed that when you lay in bed that your back dips down a little bit, then what happens is when you go to sleep at night, those muscles are trying to fire to hold up your spine, and that can lead to a stiff and achy low back in the morning. So you may need to be fitted for a new mattress. So just to recap for all of you guys, what should you be using for a stiff and achy low back? If you've had injury, I always will recommend ice to decrease inflammation. If you have old man back or you're just stiff and achy and getting up in the morning, feel free to put some heat on it to loosen up the muscles. One last little caveat is this. People will say, Beau, I felt like the muscles spasmed and tightened down on me. What do I do? And the answer is this. How do you know if there's injury in the joint? Well, muscles can only spasm for a few minutes. So if the muscles have stayed in spasm for longer than a few minutes, then you should apply ice because there's a high chance that you've actually hurt the joint. But if the muscle spasms and starts to relax, feel free to use heat from there. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me here on another Ask Dr. Beau, and I really do mean it. Ask your questions below. Send me a DM or a message here on Instagram or Facebook or even on below here if you're watching this on YouTube. I do my best to answer as many questions as I can because ultimately my job is to teach you. And always remember this, guys, you are only one adjustment away from completely changing your life. All right, until next time, have a great one. Bye now.